There's the Raiders 2020 draft class. Yikes. In yellow, the guys who are no longer on the team. We spoke at length last week about the Henry Ruggs tragedy. Now, Damon Arnette, first-round pick in 2020, also gone. Mike Mayock, GM of the Raiders, talking about the decision to cut and also the decision to draft Damon Arnette.
There have been a series of bad decisions over the last year or so, but we cannot stand for the video of Damon with a gun threatening to take a life. We spent an awful lot of time trying to understand his behavior, and really what kind of tilted everything in the direction of, okay, let's go ahead and draft him, was that we knew that coaching staff pretty well. We knew what they had asked him to do his last year at Ohio State. They felt very strongly that they knew who we had on our staff and that we'd be able to work with this young man and not only help him on the football field, but help him in his life. And, obviously in hindsight, we weren't able to do it. And I know a lot of people, including myself, we were all concerned about this, but at the time, we thought it was an acceptable risk. And obviously it's painful on all levels.
Well, it's definitely painful for the Raiders from a football standpoint to have that many guys gone. And I still don't know who was calling the shots.
To me, that's the question, right? It's the $1 million question.
Mayock's setting the table. Gruden's making the call. But Gruden's making the call like, I'll use this example. Thanksgiving, right? Coming up in a couple weeks. More timely to talk about that than Christmas. The person with the plate ultimately decides what he or she's going to eat, but your universe of options is what's on the table. And Mayock's putting it on the table. And Gruden's the one who's making the choices as to what he's going to put on his plate. So, if you got reason to shy away from a guy, Mayock's kind of the gatekeeper there to say, no, we shouldn't do this. I don't know enough about the dynamics, and I don't know that saying these were John Gruden's picks is going to save Mike Mayock when the time comes for accountability, when your 2020 draft class is completely wiped out. Oh, and the guy that you took 4th overall in 2019, Cleveland Farrell, was a healthy scratch at one point earlier this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly not a factor for their defense on a weekly basis, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of first-round picks, some guys that were supposed to really come through to help your football team, and it hasn't come to fruition at all, not even close. And, of course, now they're gone. I don't know. I will say at the end of that clip there when he says, I know that was certainly a concern of mine, that I felt like he was trying to give you a clue, like, I don't know if I back this guy. This was my issue. But the coaches, we knew it, and, Gruden liked him, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's how I kind of took that. I don't know if I'm right or wrong about that. And then, hey, the other aspect of this is, with players like that, and, you might be worried about how they react in the NFL. This is where the NFL is different than college. College, these coaches can keep their eyes on these players a lot more. There's a lot more checkpoints. They're going to, the dorm over here. We got a lot of eyes on the guy. We know what he's doing, what he's not doing. He's checking in to eat here. We know what he's doing, what he's not doing. We got people all around the campus, and we know all the people at the local bars. We know what he's doing. We know what he's not doing. NFL, you don't know that. And I think we're also seeing the Las Vegas factor rearing its ugly head here in the NFL with young players that I think has to be taken into account as well.
That's something that Peter King addressed in Football Morning in America, speaking to someone else from within the league. Basically, I wouldn't want to be responsible for a team in Las Vegas.
Tough. Oof.
And we worried about it from the perspective of proximity to gambling. Well, now the gambling is everywhere. It's more about just you're in Vegas.
The vibe
all
of Vegas.
The time,
yeah.
All the time.
Right.
All the time. The distractions, the temptations are always there to maybe drink more than you should,
Definitely.
to get yourself into interactions that could lead to inexplicable videos like the one that Damon Arnette posted that was the final nail for him in Las Vegas. So that's a factor as well. Let's take a break.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.